30th day of July 2025, the last financial clinic episode for this month as we get all prepared to get into the new season and get into the month of August by God's grace. A very good morning to you wherever you are joining us this morning. And indeed, you know, every Wednesday how we do it and what we do, we speak matters finances. Anything to build you when it comes to your finances, you find it right here. Remember, to be part of this conversation, all you need to do is to just send in your comments, questions, or even feedback on 20316. That is our SMS line, or 0786316316. That is our WhatsApp line, and be part of this amazing conversation where this morning we'll be talking about the importance of branding. Is it just about the logo? Is it just about, you know, that name, Sally Fashions or something? No, there's much more to it than that, and I have an expert in studio with me and also an entrepreneur, a beautiful lady in the world of interior design. So they're going to take us through this very, very important and timely, topic on the importance of branding, the importance of branding. So help me welcome my guests this morning, Isaac and Marge. Karibuni sana, and thank you for making it here in very good time. Marge, please introduce yourself to our audience.
So good morning. My name is Margaret Wambui, and I'm an entrepreneur. I run a company known as Kituku Interiors. I've been doing that for the last 8 years. And I'm here to give the perspective of branding from a recipient of the services.
Absolutely. Karibu sana, Isaac.
My name is Isaac Waithaka. I'm an expert in matters branding. I run a company called Magma Solutions.
Okay.
And we are specialists in especially rebranding and corporate branding.
Okay. I love what you've just said. Rebranding we're going to talk about that. Is that important in a business? And after how long then do you need to think about, oops, I need to rebrand? But first things first, what is branding probably for someone who's out there and probably they don't even know what it means?
Right. So I'm going to start with something that sounds controversial.
Okay.
When I say selling is easy, but buying is hard. Okay. So buying is the hardest thing you can ever do in life. That moment when you're thinking about parting with your money, parting with your resources, that's the most difficult decision for anyone to make. And so branding is something that helps people to buy, to find the right people to buy from, to choose the right companies to buy from. So that's the whole point of branding. And I want to go ahead and make a differentiation between branding and something called brand building. So brand building is sort of a philosophy, right? It's a strategy. It means it's a long-term approach to building something that now what we call a brand. Right, a certain connection with the audience. Okay. Branding in itself, technically, is just the application of the ideas you guys have gathered, the definition that you have around what your brand is and all that. So branding is a process, but brand building is the strategy that a company can adopt.
Whoa, okay. I've just, the open already, I'm learning a lot. And you're right, actually, that, selling is easy, but buying is hard. That's what you said?
Yes.
And that's true, by the way. I think about my money, I'm like, do I? Anyway, Marge, please talk to us about your brand, your interior business, and how would you describe it? How would you describe your brand?
I'd describe it as a very warm brand that is very customer-centric, that focuses on quality, comfort, and style. Where we just, it's a bespoke, like tailor-made furniture and interiors, where now our tagline is your furniture your way. So it's a very collaborative kind of brand where we are hearing what the customer's needs are, and we incorporate our skills and expertise to curate spaces that will just, bring life and comfort to the client.
So you deal majorly with furniture?
Yes.
Okay, because when someone hears interior design, then we're all thinking they call it decor. You just decorate the home. So it's more, do you also do that?
Yes. You see, one thing will lead to the other.
Right.
And especially if clients trust you and they have trusted you with one thing, they will ask you, can you do the painting? Can you get the carpet? Can you do the furnishings? Can you help me get the decor? So you just find you're in the whole area of the interior. But my focus is curating very quality and comfortable furniture.
Okay.
Yes.
I love the word that you've used right there.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to be used here quite a bit, trust.
Yeah.
The client trusts you, right?
Yeah.
You know, when you speak matters branding, a lot of people also look at it as marketing. Is there a difference between marketing, probably advertising, and branding, maybe?
That's a good question. There's a huge difference between the two.
Okay.
And we can clearly see why there's a blurry line between the two.
Yeah.
Now, to put it simply, marketing is the mother of branding, things like PR, customer experience. And so initially, and I would say in the 60s and 70s, majority of companies or manufacturing, for example, industries were owned by governments, and so there wasn't any sort of competition really, especially in our part of the world. And so there wasn't any need for differentiation, making yourself look different from your competitors and all that. But then as competition started to come in, then marketing came in, when people needed to figure out, so what's happening in the market. And the term marketing is because it's about the market, right? And it's technically about the dynamics of a market, the size of the market, things like that, distribution, how to get value or products or services to people. The difference between that and branding is more about the company and something we call the audience.
Okay.
Right. So the audience are the people who are paying attention, people who to whom whatever you're saying matters.
Right.
They may not be the ones who are going to exactly buy, but they may influence those who are going to buy from you.
Okay.
So, and that's the main difference. Yeah.
All right. You know, for you, Marge, when you've just talked about your brand, but what sets you apart from, because the interior market is quite, interior design market is quite flooded.
Yeah.
What sets you apart?
It's what Isaac is talking about. This branding thing is not just the logo.
Yeah.
It's the tone, it's the feel, it's what you are promising to give the audience and your customers. And I would say you would think it's these big things that would set you apart, but that trust thing I was talking about, that what the brand promises to deliver is what it promises.
Absolutely.
That I don't curate this beautiful thing online that is beautiful, the aesthetics are good, but now when you come to even the experience, because the branding will even involve the experience you get when you're interacting with us. It's not just what I'm providing.
Okay.
And I feel like as founders, we are sometimes so engrossed with the product. But even how, from the first interaction to the time I deliver that product, that period is what I would say sets us apart. Because what I would want you to do when you give me your money to do something is to forget having a headache. It's just to be able to go and sleep at night and know that what I said I will do and deliver at the time that we agreed on. So I would say for us, it's the trust.
So you're coming in with a solution.
Yes, you're coming in with the solution, but even the solution need to be provided in a way that is pleasing to the customer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting. On matters, you know, now because we have an interior designer here, how then do you brand her differently? Like probably from me, maybe I have a media house like this. She's an interior designer. Do you brand people differently? Different clients, different branding. Is that how it works?
Now I'll speak specifically from a position of rebranding, for example.
Yes.
So it's when you're going. People have already been in business for a while, and now they figured out who they're serving. They figured out what their audience is. They figured out especially the kind of value they're trying to deliver.
Yes.
And so now they want to customize and to package themselves for that specific audience. And so in that, with regards to interiors, even when we're working with Marge,
Yeah.
there's something something came up, something struck me when we were working together. It's just the level of excellence they approach things with.
Okay.
And those are the small things that we look for. What exactly makes these people different, as you had asked, but also what makes them unique in the market? What can differentiate them?
Yeah.
Right? And so finding that, now in an industry like interior design, there are a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of value that can be created. There are people who are good at the interior decor.
Yeah.
There are people who are good at the furniture. There are people who are good. So there's something that they major in.
Yeah.
But fundamentally, you're asking yourself, what sort of values are these that they're presenting to the customer? What can you assure the customer about?
Yeah.
That they can naturally deliver, right? Because that's what values are. It's like just this team naturally, this is what they'll do.
Okay.
So finding that out. So it's not very difficult to find that out, but it needs an expert to try and find that out, and then that's what you put at the front.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So that's how to brand them.
All right. You know, first, you know, as you're talking before, Isaac, there's something you said like, whatever I come in with, like, I want this to be, you know, create this for me and stuff. I don't know if you've seen this thing of what I ordered versus what I got.
Yes.
So you actually give me exactly what I've ordered for. All right.
Yeah.
When it comes to, at what point actually in your life or in your business did you sit and just say, I think I need to brand my business? Because did you just start from the word go, you branded yourself, or did you brand at some point and then rebrand it at some other point?
You know, there's something Isaac has mentioned. Most business would go into, ours was a rebranding. You know, we start with this notion, it's like a small business, and we even call it a small business. So you're doing everything for yourself. You're the marketing, the branding, the errand person.
Yeah.
And then most of the time, it's actually not the founder who will figure out that there's such a need. For me, I was so engrossed in, you know, keeping the business afloat, the day to day. But then my partner, my co-founder, my husband, he was like, I think we need to do a rebranding.
Okay.
And our rebranding was major because we even renamed the business. We were formerly known as M&L Interiors, the initials of our names.
Yes.
But then we had a shop in a mall at some point. And what people would come and ask is, are these imported furniture?
Yeah.
And I wanted to kill that with the name Kituku Interiors and have a Swahili name to just curate. The brand needed to communicate that we can do great work in our country.
Okay.
Even local staff can have excellent work.
Right.
It can have excellent product. So it was not from my side. I had not seen the need as a founder, but my husband saw that. After the rebranding, that's when I saw really there was a gap. Because things changed.
Okay.
There was sort of brand loyalty. As you were saying, the audience, there are people who have probably never bought from us, but they have sent people.
Okay.
There's like the trust, the loyalty.
Yeah.
A while back, like I would say during COVID time, you would have people like picking our stuff and posting as their own.
Yeah.
And guys would actually highlight and screenshot and send, this is your work being posted somewhere.
Wow.
That sees, it communicates there's an audience that is really loyal to this brand.
Yes.
And that was not happening before the rebranding happened.
Okay.
Yeah, because there's, you see where experts are necessary is because when we did the first meeting with the Magma team,
Yes.
first of all, I didn't understand what these guys were doing. We had like a 5-hour meeting. They called it brand discovery. And I was wondering, why do we need a 5-hour meeting?
We already know.
But when we were done, these people could mention my core values without me telling them.
Oh, wow.
From listening to me, what's important to me, from listening to how we started, how, you know, the journey so far. So yeah, so you don't, sometimes the founder will not see the gap because you're so engrossed in the day-to-day, in refining the product, in trying to put processes and systems.
Right.
Yeah.
And what does Kituku mean, by the way?
Kituku has two meaning. When you put it together, it means a great granddaughter, which I am. Which I am.
Yes.
My great grandmother is alive, so there's that. And then when you separate, it means something great. Kituku.
Oh, Oh,
Yeah.
oh, amazing. And you know, hatimaye unatoa kitu kuu.
Kitu kuu.
Fantastic.
Yes.
You know, Marja just talked about I'm just saying the power of social media, I think, or digital tools. How powerful is technology and just being in this new digital space? You know, is it powerful when it comes to branding?
I think at the moment, that is the most powerful thing.
Okay.
And that is what has changed the game. So how people used to operate before, the major thing that has changed is how customers now form relationships with companies is primarily on social media.
Yes.
It's primarily on any kind of digital media. And that's because the audience now has a lot of freedom to choose. They have a lot of options. And so the people who communicate the strongest, who have the strongest story, who have the most compelling value proposition, for example. So those are the people they'll connect with.
Okay.
So social media, I think, has come and shifted something. And even in Africa, because here it's taken a bit of time, but here now, a lot of what used to be, you know, big business. So now we are seeing a very clear difference between big business, people who have like huge revenue and all that, and big brand. So there are people who have a lot of influence online, and they can sway people's opinions, the sentiments, right? That either for or against the large companies. And so they don't have the same kind of influence they used to have. That is something that has changed fundamentally. That's really the power of social media.
Of social media. And when you say that, I know there's a time there was a whole campaign against some telecommunication company, and they actually felt it. This is a giant, and they were like, now they had to give people incentives and stuff like that. And Madge, you spoke about social media, but you just scratched the surface. How powerful has it been to you, or what role has it played in just...
I was, you know, like waiting to comment really on that, because Kituku was just built from being MNL Interiors to Kituku has been built purely online.
Wow.
And I'll tell you the impact is from where our workshop is in Roy. I no longer have, we closed the shop at Spa Mall when we changed the model into Bescope, so we didn't need a shop, because now we tailor make on order. So the power of social media is from where our workshop is in Roy, in the outskirts of Nairobi. I've delivered to Kampala, and probably 70% of our counties. And some of those customers I've never met. They've just picked us on social media. I probably just go through the page and see the consistency of our work. And some will just look at something and say, I want exactly what you posted yesterday or the day before or a month before.
Wow.
And you just make and deliver, and you have not had any interaction physically. So that's the power of social media.
Absolutely.
It's actually sort of busted the bubbles on some things that we learned about, you know, the things to have when you're starting a business, like location, stuff like it, from wherever you are. How many people are doing business in their homes because of social media? You don't need an office to start. You might need it when you grow, but you can start anywhere because of the power of social media. So before we could get to referrals and repeat clients, social media was where all our customers came from.
Wow.
Yes.
I hope someone's out there is just listening or watching this and they get encouraged, because it's quite encouraging. Sometimes someone feels, because I was hosting someone here last week on Matters, the thrift business, and they were feeling like probably it's not your time to be in the social media. I have repeat business and stuff, but what you're saying right there, I think it's speaking to so many people, you know, when it comes to that. Customer service and branding. Does customer service play any role in a brand, for example?
I think customer service is the most important thing in a brand. So both in brand building, the long-term strategy, but also in branding. This is the main point of contact, and especially when people come with a problem. So in the brand world, we've talked about how difficult it is to buy. And so the person who's coming to buy, if they can find a solution they find some clarity, some relief when the first time they interact with the company.
Right.
That's when they make a decision for who they're going to work with.
Right.
Right. So that's when the buying decision is made. And so majority of the time that's definitely customer service. And so what we see in the industry is people don't invest enough in that, and they lose out on a lot of business just because of that.
Yeah.
But that's actually the most powerful tool for, it's just, it's the whole experience someone has, but that point of contact where they interact, to ask questions, to interact with a human, that's the most key part.
And remember, we also have the customer week at some point, and that's when you see a lot of customer service done. But I think it's something that should be ongoing, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Wow, we have come to our first break, and remember, to be a partner, all you need to do is to send the word partner to 20316, SMS line, or 0786316316. Be part of this amazing community that is able to facilitate us or bless us in one way or the other to bring you such content.
Once, a man walked through a construction site. He watched 3 workers laying bricks. He asked each of them the same simple question: "What are you doing?" The first said, "I'm laying bricks. It's tough work, but it pays the bills." The second replied, "I'm building a wall. It's just part of my job." But the third, he smiled and said, "I'm building a cathedral." At Family Media, we understand this story. We're not just laying bricks either. We are building a place of hope, a place where faith is restored, where children learn God's love, where stories of transformation go out 24/7. We are building a cathedral through media. But we are not building it alone. You, our partners, are helping us lay every brick.
Family allows us to be partners, yeah? Whether you're giving 100, 500, 1,000, 10,000, a million, you can be part of the family. There's a need in today's world for people to hear this gospel, and there's no better space than media.
Every gift, every prayer, every encouragement is part of something eternal.
It will touch me every time you're told that you listen to it because somebody else gave.
Some are called to be apostles. In that line of calling, we are also called to take Jesus to the airwaves.
Thank you for seeing beyond the bricks. Thank you for seeing the cathedral. Thank you for choosing to build with us, soul by soul. Together, let's keep building with purpose, with faith, and with joy. Family Media, keeping Jesus on the airwaves.
Yeah, welcome back to our conversation this morning on Matters Financial Clinic, and we're talking about the importance of branding. Before we get back to the conversation with Isaac and Madge, I'll just get to our socials. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a question here. Good morning, family. A question to the lady. Does your brand incorporate any local, cultural, or even African design elements, Madge? And then on inconsistency, Isaac, in brand presentation, can that hurt the credibility of interior design or any other business for that matter? So Madge, maybe you can go first.
Yeah. Yes, it does incorporate. As I said, we are tailor kind of bespoke. Like it means that we make what the clients want.
Yes.
So we've had pieces where we do even with kitenge, like the African fabric. We've had those projects. And the first time I did it was such a hit, I would say. Yeah, so whatever it is, we're always thinking, you know, with creativity, you have to keep thinking and seeing what do customers want.
Right.
Yeah, and those pieces, when you make those accent chairs with kitenge fabric, they really, really resonate with the clients. I think we feel like it's our own.
Yeah.
It's our own fabric. And we are such a colorful kind of people.
Absolutely. So it stands out.
Yes.
And also the name.
Yeah.
Cool.
The name is ours.
African.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Isaac, on inconsistency.
Okay, so I would turn that to just say, like as a statement, consistency is what builds trust. And so anything but that will be a problem.
Okay.
And I'd like to put it this way: when you understand the audience and what they need, then you're able to show up in a way that is in a particular way that connects with them.
Yeah.
If you change that even slightly, then they start to feel like you're not the same person anymore, right? And so it's like one of the examples we normally give is you have a personal doctor.
Yes.
Like the promise of the family doctor, for example, is that this person will deal with me in a, in a specific way, in a unique way.
Yeah.
And that is usually the promise for a lot of brands, like we'll be your go-to people. If today your family doctor came and maybe they looked this is a different person, right? The environment has changed, the hospital has changed. When that sort of change keeps happening, then the amount of trust you have will diminish.
Yeah.
So the majority of industries, a majority of businesses actually survive because they remain very similar for a long time, very consistent with their service.
Okay.
Even if it is not at the world-class level, just whatever is good and keeping it that way, that has a very big effect on the business.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Maje, so you're really agreeing to that. I don't know if you've experienced that.
Oh, yes.
At some point you tried probably to change something and you felt the impact.
There's a statement: what's not broken, don't fix it.
Right.
Because that's what customer know you for. And you remember when you asked what makes us different?
Yes.
Isaac said excellence. I did not say excellence. Because I think that's a bare minimum for businesses. I said trust.
Yes.
What you have said you will do, what experience you have promised to give consistently.
Yes.
You don't want customers who referred you saying, oh, they are warm, they keep time. Then the person they have sent, there's inconsistency. They don't get what they asked for in time, and you're not communicating. So that consistency is key. You want one customer to say, this is what I got, and what you promised me as you referred me is what exactly I got.
Absolutely.
So it's not just in processes and the look and the feel, it's just also in the experience, even the consistency of the experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think consistency anywhere is important, isn't it?
Yeah.
So then there's also Akisa Inyele. A very good morning, Akisa. Akisa is saying, good morning, Sally and the guests. Thank you for the insightful discussion. What common branding mistakes do Kenyan startups make and how to rectify? And then how do you build a brand that essentially is local yet still looks premium? And actually people should see your page because yes, your brand is just premium. But first things first, let's respond to the mistakes that startups make when it comes to branding.
So I would say with regards to branding, majority of the problems we've seen on the ground is, let me start with people not actually understanding what brand is. And so let me give some insight on that.
Sure.
So there are different kinds of advantages or leverage you have in a business when you're starting, right? And so we usually categorize them into three, but people know two of them. So there's capital, right? So having money. So when you have money, you have an advantage, right? And the other one is distribution. So being able to get your goods or whatever you have to the people, right? Most people don't know that there's a third advantage, and it's one of the most powerful things on the African continent, where capital and distribution are not very stable and accessible, and that is brand. And so the knowledge of how to build a brand, how to form a connection with people first, even before you have the capital, even before you have the distribution. You need to be able to be packaged in a way that people understand what you're doing, understand the value of what you're offering, and understand what makes you different, what makes you more valuable than someone else. That doesn't cost much, but yet majority of people will struggle to go get funding struggle to build systems and but actually the most fundamental one, the easiest one to build is that. So I would say not having enough knowledge on that is a major mistake.
Okay.
Secondly, I would say that on the flip side, when you're starting up, I don't think you should invest too much money into your the packaging. And I know that's counterintuitive, but it's because when you come to rebrand, that's when you realize someone may have spent so much up front, but they didn't actually understand what was the need in the market. So I'm an advocate in, if you can even design your own logo, do it.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Whatever you can do for yourself, get the knowledge. The knowledge is more important.
Yeah.
And then go make something that will work for the time being.
Okay.
But in that process, you learn as much as you can about your audience, about your customers, and what they need, and how to deliver it to them.
Okay.
And then you do the rebrand.
Yeah, because my question is going to be, at what point then do you decide, I now need to rebrand?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Okay. So, and you'll respond to that
Right,
as well.
right.
Marge, how do you build a brand that essentially is local, like yours, but still looks premium? And let me add, very premium.
Isaac has touched on it, actually. You start where you are. And we need to understand that brand is the scope is wide. It's not just the logo and how the things look. What he's saying, like the things that you can do. And what we need to know is branding includes the founder.
Absolutely.
Because you will be intertwined with the brand, whether you like it or not. So even your reputation is a brand.
Yes.
It's actually a brand. So focus on what you can do. Kituku is not yet there. Now their feedback I get, like the staging, because sometimes I stage outside our workshop, which does not look posh. And those are things that I need to work on. But from where I am now, I try and curate the best I can. Yeah. And then as we grow, and this is something I would actually want to speak to people. There's sometimes I go benchmarking around, imports, the furniture stores that you want. And one day I was just going around and I saw one was celebrating 50 years. Others are even 100 years.
Right.
So please, we can't outpace brands like that. You grow into that excellence. You grow into looking polished. But wherever you are, do the best.
Okay.
To have that feel that, it's not just a local company, but it has a polished feel.
Right.
But start where you are.
Okay.
With whatever you have.
All right.
Yeah.
Start where you are. Very, very important. And I think that's exactly what you said when it comes to the logos. If you can just design that for yourself.
Yeah.
Might just touch on something, reputation. Reputation is also a brand. And before the break, we talked about even our influencers. They keep saying, I'm a brand, you cannot tarnish my name. How is that? Probably someone out there and they're like, yeah, right, so and so is a brand. When I say I'm a brand, what does it mean really?
So to answer that accurately, we would have to define what a brand is in that respect. So a brand is, I would call it so we're talking about the connection you have with people, right? But it's this very specific, unique kind of value that you deliver to people. And we would also add sort of the promise that you're able to very easily fulfill.
Okay.
Right? And it's this thing that you're consistently doing. It's what people would call being authentic, your real self, right?
Yeah.
So when we work with people, sometimes you realize they want to write their values as just anything, integrity, what. But these are not things that come naturally to them, right? And so whatever you choose to be, so these are our values, this is our brand, is what really comes naturally.
Okay.
But now with regards to influencers, now to apply that, an influencer at some point realizes that they have aptly like influence, and they can sway people's opinions on things.
Right.
Yeah.
And so they start to realize that this is something they're doing at scale. When something is called a brand, it means it's not just one-on-one. It's not like a parent of a child or something like that.
Yeah.
It is when it happens at scale. then that becomes a brand. That is defined as a brand.
Okay.
So for it to happen at scale, it means all these people are looking at you and seeing the same value, seeing you being consistent in a certain way, seeing they have a certain kind of connection with you.
Yeah.
And that's why they call themselves a brand. Now, of course, there's a blurry line, with that, because for many people who call themselves a brand, it's not exactly so. They don't have the kind of influence that they think they have. Sometimes they represent something that people like, but it's not exactly themselves, right?
Yeah.
So it's very important to actually understand where that where the line is on that. Yeah.
Let's talk about challenges, because I know it's not been all rosy. Marge, what are some of the challenges you've experienced as a person while trying to develop your brand?
No, we talked about now the power of social media. The same social media makes it things are moving so fast.
Okay.
So adapting to new market trends, you just can't sleep. You sleep, the cheese has moved.
Yeah.
You just blink and even right now we are just having a conversation with Magma to just sit again and see now the future of Kituku. Because I can see, if I'm being honest, places have dropped the ball concerning branding.
Yes.
And you say you could have this beautiful brand, but is it visible? And visibility is what he was talking about, the difference between branding and marketing. Now marketing is the vehicle that moves this thing that you have created. And you need to have a serious budget for that.
Yeah.
And now the noise is loud in social media. Like if you're not making noise every other time, you'll be forgotten. So those are the challenges. You can't sleep, it's not static. You have to you can get a team like Magma once and then say, oh, I'm done with branding.
Right.
No. These are conversations you need to keep revisiting and see where do we tweak things, where do we adapt, what do we drop, what do we add.
Okay.
So that thing can be a bit too much for a founder, because you're like, hey, I thought I'm doing this thing. and once and for all. And you see, for us, like I would say, like people who are starting off as founders, you're not like this big corporate who they would have like a whole department for even research on what's happening and how to respond to that. So it means you just have to be agile. You really have to.
You've actually brought me to the point that the question I had planned to ask you earlier, in terms of at what point then do I say, and it seems like this is an ongoing journey from what Marge is saying. She's still thinking like, I need to sit again to rebrand. At what point would a business person, entrepreneur sit and say, I need to rebrand now?
Right, so there's several reasons why a company would need to rebrand. Of course, they're the usual, maybe it's a merger or acquisition. So something has changed in the management or ownership. A lot of the time it happens when the audience changes or when you realize, okay, maybe we've been serving a certain market, a certain audience, and now we need to shift to a different one. And so for that, because you'd package yourself for a certain group of people, you need to then shift.
Yeah.
But then I would say this, the ideal situation is that you don't rebrand, right? So it's something called a brand evolution. It means it's a continuous having your finger on the pulse with culture, with the culture on the ground, with your audience, listening to them, gathering feedback, using the data to inform how you shift. And so you'll see larger companies will rarely rebrand as a whole, very rarely. That's because they have people who are constantly checking, constantly listening to what their customers are saying, what their audience needs, what their audience wants, and they're shifting slowly together with them. And so you'll see the Coca-Colas have always been Coca-Colas in almost exactly the same way. So but you'll see the changes happening around, but not to the main thing.
Right.
And so it's just a lack of knowledge about how to do that. And I would say on the continent we struggle with that because we really don't. We have so many problems. By the time you're thinking at your finger on the pulse, you're usually already too late.
Yeah.
And that's why so guys like us are there to sort of walk people through.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Are there any mistakes, probably, Marge, as a person, you made or with your husband on when you started off? Are there any mistakes you made when it came to branding? Your
Do you have time? Aren't we making mistakes every day? Because first of all, you don't even understand this thing.
Yeah.
See, the way we start businesses in this nation, and I think in the African continent, sometimes it's not even out of passion.
Right.
It's out of a need, like probably you just finished school, you can't find a job, and you find yourself in this world of business, so you have no idea.
Absolutely.
You start from zero when it comes to things like marketing, branding. And so these things you learn on the way. So you can imagine the trials and errors. Sometimes let me just tell you the example that is just critical. Sometimes you even make a name for your business, post it on the online. You have not even searched it with the government to see whether it's available. So the first rebranding you will do is not even a rebranding. No. It's because the name is not available. You understand? And those are the mistakes that we found ourselves making. You don't start off with structures, with systems, and you see all these things we are talking about, even branding, they need to have some form of basic structure. You need to have a bit of it to make, the branding work. And so we made plenty, including those of names.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear. So building a brand on a budget, because I know so many people are like, this thing is expensive and all that. How can one build that brand on a budget? Apart from, you said you can start, doing my own logo. Right. What else?
So I think how I'd look at it is, there's a reason people work with a professional at the beginning.
Yeah.
And it's not always because of the logo. It's usually because of the process they walk you through to think about your customer.
Yes.
Because when you're starting a business, that's not the first thing. It looks like it's obvious.
Yes.
But thinking about who your customer is and what exactly it is they need, that's really the first thought we have. We're trying to come up with a product and make something work. And so with that, I think when you're on a budget, it is to realize that this is the challenge almost everyone is going through. So 70-80% of the people are going through that. I would say the best investment you can make is in actually learning about the branding, about building a brand. And we made that differentiation between branding itself, applying a brand to the things you use, and brand building, which is a long-term thinking. It's almost like a philosophy of operation, where your company is focused on the customer first, and you look at things from the perspective of the customer. I think that's how to do it, and rather than spending a lot of money, because some people spend a lot of money up front and then realize that this is not even what the market needs.
Okay. In interior design, I think we have something called a mood board. Right? So probably first you may speak about that and also tell us, how do you use it as a tool then to express that or just put your brand out there?
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, ours being bespoke, mood boards are usually coming from clients actually. It's clients who are sharing their mood boards with us, and it's very important. There's something that Isaac was talking about, thinking from the customer's side. And in our business, it's even more critical.
Yes.
Because if you don't do that, you'll find you are giving your clients what is your taste. You really want to influence. You can't see any other way apart from the way you like it. And so those mood boards will help you to know, even if you get a client that doesn't even know about a mood board and you share with them, it will help you know where their mind is at. What is it they're looking at? It will actually just shorten the process. Because if you share like 3 of them and they're like, no, I don't like this at all. I like this. So you know this somebody very zen that would want a very neutral, turned down kind of colors. Is this a vibrant person who might want prints incorporated? What do they like? It's very helpful. It's just a shortcut to this design work.
does one have to go to school to be an interior designer? Probably someone is asking, is it a talent for you, or, you know, what is it?
I have not gone to school. I learned it from my mom.
Okay.
She had done this for like 10 years.
Wow.
But I have an interest. I think passion and interest will have you do what Isaac was telling you about, researching.
Right.
I'm always on Pinterest. When I'm watching things, I'm watching houses.
Inspirations,
Yes.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right now I'm interested in Mujengo. Like, I just want to see how houses are coming up. And, you know, how to paint, to tile, to do all those things. So that when the furniture is coming in, you know, when you were asking about whether, you know, furniture is interior.
Yes.
It is actually a very central part, because you have to tie everything together. You might actually just have to think from the roof color
Yeah.
to the exterior color, to the interior color, and then you tie with the curtains, with the carpets and everything. Yeah, so I don't think you really have to go to formal school.
Yeah.
But if you decide this is the journey, then you have to self-educate yourself.
Yeah.
And we don't have shortage of where you can do that right now. We really could go to YouTube. You could watch those, what are these, home improvement videos.
Yeah.
And really, I think when you stay in a place, your mind starts thinking now.
True.
It's very natural. It comes, you look like you went formally to school.
So but passion is the driver.
Passion
here
is,
as well.
it is. It is. You have to love it.
Because I can go to school and I'm not passionate about it. So
You
it
have to
doesn't-
love it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's debunk some myths when it comes to branding, misconceptions. I'm sure there's so many out there. Can we try and debunk them today, probably?
You know, I think we've mentioned a couple of them, but I think the biggest ones I can think about are when people think that branding is a cost.
Yes.
You know, they look at it as an expense for the business, as opposed to as an investment. So on our end, when you work with corporates, you have to really prove to them that this thing will bring you money.
Yeah.
In a very specific way. So it has to have value in it, and we do it because it does. It has an actual impact on their revenue.
Yeah.
Right? And so people, when companies look at it from a position of, you know, this is an expense, we need to make things look pretty, and then we move on with business. Then that's I would say that's a misconception.
Okay.
Another one, another big one is just what you started with, which is the logo, the brand, right? And I like what Maja said.
Yes.
Even just with interior design, right? So where we are as a society, I would say even as Kenyans, we're now starting to step into experiences as opposed to individual things. It's like I have something nice in my house, but then you're starting to create a certain experience in your space, a holistic experience where you are. And I would say with regards to branding, that's the point. It is to create a complete experience for someone.
Okay.
So that when they come in, remember buying is hard. When they come in, they're able to calm down, for example. They're able to be at peace, to make a rational decision. They're able to be in a space where they trust the people who are there, right, to make the right decisions. That's actually the whole point.
Okay.
But thinking of it as one thing or another, it's a big misconception.
It's a big misconception. Wow. Maj, briefly, probably, because do you work with architects and even those, you know, your furniture guys? When you're working with all these people, then how do you ensure that you're still promoting your brand as much? Me as much, I'm not losing myself in this whole thing. How do you do that briefly?
I think it's just understanding everyone's role, and this thing has to be collaborative, especially if you're doing a project. And it's not easy to lose yourself if you have done it for a while.
Yeah.
Because now when you talk about an architect, they just are going to do the drawing and guide through the process, maybe come and do inspections and engineers and stuff like that. But when it comes to furniture, we do it from scratch, from the workshop.
From the workshop.
We just have a meeting with the team. This is the project that is here. This is the customer expectations. We have dimensions. From everything is written down. So I don't think it's hard. It's just understanding the roles, their systems. Everybody has what they're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fantastic. 20 seconds, parting shot.
I would say, I would urge even just the whole of the African continent, because that's part of our mission is to build like real brands, very influential brands globally. In Africa, we are struggling with the challenge of reputation. We have about 100 years of just a very poor reputation. And so it's part of why our business cannot go global easily. So I think to educate ourselves on brand and brand building and just that whole concept, test things, break things, you know, let's find a way of actually getting ourselves on the global stage. Fantastic.
So education. What an amazing conversation this morning. What a lovely way to just end, you know, the financial clinic in the month of July. Beautiful, beautiful people right here with amazing insight. And by the way, Isaac is a partner. So you can see exactly what partners are doing. They contribute, they support us in all ways, and also come here and give free advice. What more would we ask for? We really thank God for you. Thank you so much for your feedback. Thank you so much for being part and parcel of Family Media. That's why we're a family. Thank you for supporting us. And if you feel you want to be part of this community, again, you can send your support, your contribution to paybill number 316 and the account name or account number shall be your telephone number. And if you want to be a partner, send the word partner to 20316 SMS line and 0786 316 That is our WhatsApp line. Thank you so much for your time. See you again next week. The new season in August will be bringing you amazing conversations right here. You'll be sitting at the edge of your seat. God bless you and keep you. Bye for now.